Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Hoops with ZouLou Sports and the In the Zone Network. The A-Train, Arlington Lane. Glad to bring hoops to you live from ZouLou Sports and the In the Zone Network. Joining me as always is Palmer Alexander III. We got a great matchup for you tonight as Lutheran North is at home. They're taking on Chaminade, and a great matchup in store. Palmer, your thoughts on it, on the matchup?
Yeah, you got a great matchup here. A hot Chaminade team that haven't lost a game all month. And then you got a Lutheran North team, they struggling a little bit. They lost their last 3 games. And Coach Jones just want them to play a little bit more with more higher basketball IQ. So that's one of the things that he's been harping on with his team. And listen, you never know what's going to happen, but this is a big Chaminade team. They're big all across the board, and they're going to be a tough team to beat tonight.
You got a chance to speak with Coach Gerald Jones, so we'll take it over to you right now with Palmer and Coach Jones. You can hear me?
All right, Coach Jones, you got a big game tonight. You guys are currently on a 3-game loser streak. What are you telling your guys about tonight's matchup?
Well, most importantly, man, we're as coaches, we try to teach our kids how to persevere, overcome those losses. We played great at some points, and so what we're trying to do is we're trying to build when we played our very best in those last games, and we're trying to pick it up right there where we left off. And again, we're trying to bring it here. We know we got a big game in playing Chaminade tonight. Those kids are bigger, faster, they're stronger. IQ levels are a little bit higher than ours, and so what we're trying to do is we're trying to match their level, the IQ level, their intensity level, and again, they're a different level team. They're 6A and we're 3A, and so when I scheduled this game, I thought it was important that our kids get the experience.
When you're going through a tough stretch, morale sometimes go down. You're a great teacher. How do you teach morale?
Right, again, that's perfectly asked. I appreciate that. And that's our focus now, man, to just try and teach our kids how to overcome situations, and not just only in basketball. We transfer this stuff to real life, and so we try not to talk a lot about basketball and bad possessions and our turnovers and our shooting percentage. So we just try to build on it.
All right, we're bringing it back to action for you. We're about to get started with the game in just a moment. We're going to get the starting lineups for you right after we get our call from our public address announcer.
Good evening, ladies and welcome to Blue Gymnasium on the campus of Lutheran High School North for today's contest between Chaminade and your Lutheran North Crusaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. sophomore, number 12, Nilovan Daniels. At forward, a 6'10 junior, number 32, Terrace Reed Jr. And at forward, a 6'7 junior, number 40, Philip Sinobad. And now the starters for your Lutheran North Crusaders. At guard, a 5'10 junior, number 3, David Moore. At guard, a 5'10 senior, number 23, Devin Jones. At guard, a 5'10 junior, number 24, Caden Calhoun. At forward, a 6'4 junior, number 32, Jamez Lee. And at forward, a 6'4 junior, number 34, Danez Jones. The head coach of the Crusaders is Gerald Jones. Good luck to both teams in tonight's contest.
We're bringing it back into action, about to get started with the tip. The last time that we got a chance, Palmer, to see Lutheran North was a game back at Trinity, and Lutheran North eked it out just a little bit over Trinity, 68-63. What do you see in this matchup with Lutheran North?
Yeah, Lutheran North, listen, let's face it, you know, they're going to have their work cut out for them today. But that still doesn't mean that they're not going to, you know, be able to get something out of this. And Coach Jones is such a great teacher. He's always looking to teach. And he knew what he was doing scheduling this matchup. He's trying to toughen his guys up. Playoffs are right around the corner.
Chaminade gets the opening tip. First shot by Brian Ward is off. And here come the Crusaders. So here's Calhoun, along with Jones, Lee, Calhoun with ball in hand, Demez Jones, and David Moore. And a loose ball foul here. Call on Jamez Lee. That's his first.
One of the keys for the Crusaders tonight, they're just going to have to stay patient on offense and don't get in a hurry to get up and down the court with these guys.
There's a missed shot there. Another missed shot, and there is the tip by Terrace Reed Jr. Chaminade opens up the scoring. Here's Calhoun. Over to Jones. Jones looking, took away the screen from Lee. Back to Calhoun at the top of the key. Calhoun trying to keep the dribble. Here's Moore. Over to Calhoun. Jones looking for more. He'll take the three. Short. And it's going to remain with Lutheran North.
Speaking about that last game that we did, when Lutheran North beat Trinity, David Moore led them with 30 points. A quiet 30 points, mind you.
Into the game now for Lutheran North is Corey Long, the 6'2 senior. Jones looking. Gets the ball back here. There's Calhoun. Looking. Over to Jones again. They're trying to be smart here. Here's Jones. He'll take the jumper over two defenders. No. Fight for the rebound. It'll stay with the Crusaders.
When you face with the height differential, that you're dealing with the Crusaders, it's so important to have great ball movement. And when you get shots, you got to make them.
The turnover here as Daniels gets the steal. Inside to Ward. He gets that's Terrace Reed with the second basket. 4-0, Chaminade.
I tell you, when he caught the ball and turned around shot, he looking like LaMarcus Aldridge.
Here is Jones. Over to Calhoun. Now being guarded by Daniels. 2:15 gone by here in the first quarter. We're live from Lutheran North High School here in St. Louis. Of course, we're powered by ZouLou Sports and the In the Zone Network. Here's Jones. The Calhoun. Crossover dribble. Step back. Can't get it. Reed with the one-handed rebound. And Chaminade pushes. And Reed gets to the basket. Brian Ward gets to the basket pretty easily on that one.
You got to be able to make jump shots, quick timeout, smart timeout by Coach Jones.
6-0 advantage here as we step aside for just a moment. Well, before we do that, we want to make sure that you check out the In the Zone Network at facebook.com/In the Zone Network. Check out our wonderful programming, and it's in store for you. You can check out the Price Check with Josh Price. You can check out In the Zone with Palmer Alexander. You can also check out the A-Train Show with the A-Train Arlington Lane. You can also check out our XFL STL Talk Show. That's every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. And you can check out NTZ Pro Wrestling every Thursday night at 7.
And let's not leave out our friends down at Gateway City Sports, Derek King and our boy Gene Bonds.
We've been grateful to partner up with Gateway City Sports, and they've been doing an excellent job in keeping up on everything going on in the city of St. Louis and sports. We bring it back into action. 5:10 to go here in the first. Jones being guarded by Ward. Over to Calhoun. Jones trying to take it to the cup. He does. Wild shot, no. Daniels and Jones try to get it, and Chaminade gets it here.
It is extremely difficult to score when you got a rim protector 6'10", 6'11" in the post. You got to, the last possession they did a good job of drawing guys out and drawing Terrence Reed out, but they wasn't able to get any points off of it.
Inside it comes to Reed, and that's an easy basket for Reed. So 8-0, Chaminade.
And the Crusaders working the ball slowly up court, not rushing anything. They know what they need to do to stay in this game.
Calhoun tried to get him with the pump fake. No, Long gets it. Inside to Jones. We got a foul here. So good job by Jones giving the pump fake to get 2 shots, and that foul's on Philip Sinabad.
Well, that's the best way to attack a team, too, especially when they get up 8-0. The one way to help settle down your team is throw the ball into the post. Bang a little bit. Get some fouls drawn on the other team.
Jones missed the first. See, he's in the second here. Let's see what's going on. Got some chirping going on a little bit by Coach Frank Bennett of Chaminade. And Jones misses the second free throw as Long tried to get it off, and he couldn't, and Chaminade will retrieve it. Got to make those free throws.
Yeah, especially when you're laboring already in the half-court sets.
And now the steal by Calhoun. Here's Jones. In a jam, he gets out of it. Long, he'll take the open three. No. And now a silly foul here by Demez Jones.
And he's the guy that they're going to need more than anything, especially to give them a presence in the post. He made that big shot down the stretch to beat Trinity in that 68-63 win that we did.
Nate Strotter into the game now for Chaminade. Here's Sinabad looking inside the Reed. He'll take the turnaround. Air ball. And Long gets the rebound for the Crusaders. Here's Jones. Being closely guarded by Ward. Tries to set the pick. He gets to the cup. He loses it. And he gets a 2-shot foul.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Brian Ward and Terrence Reed. They're talking to each other, about what happened in that last sequence. Terrence Reed had his back turned to the basket, and, great job by Devin Jones just taking the ball to the basket. You're going to have to be aggressive, and when you get your chances, when the bigs are out of the paint, how their backs turn, you got to take it to the cup. But when you get the fouls, you get to the line, you got to start knocking down free throws.
Into the game now for Chaminade is Walter Strader and Jameer Cretter into the game now for the Crusaders. So the Crusaders get their first point. And here comes Ward. And Jones just a little too aggressive there. He gets the foul call against him. And now a turnover here by Chaminade, and the Crusaders will get it. 3:33 left here in the first quarter. We're here from the Blue Court Gymnasium here in Lutheran North High School, the A-Train Arlington Lane, and Palmer Alexander giving you the call tonight. Here's Redder, inside, rejected by Ware, and Jones retrieves over to Long, and he gets the lay-in. So great job by Corey Long, and it's 8-3.
Yeah, and you know what? The Lutheran North won the scramble play as things start to break down. And you know what? They showing some guts. They keep attacking the basket.
Mayo misses, and Long fights and gets the rebound. So great job by Corey Long. Here's Jones being guarded by Strader. Over to Cretter, he'll take it, bang. Jameer Cretter gets the three, it's 8-6.
The patience is paying off for Lutheran North. They had a couple of good possessions in a row.
Strader off. Jones gets the rebound. Jones getting instruction from Coach Jones. Here he comes. With the right hand, wild shot, no good. Here's Ward. He'll take the jumper inside, good. 10-6, Chaminade. Now a little pressure shown by Chaminade. Here's Jones. And now the steal, no, that'll stay right with the Crusaders. Mark Jackson Jr. into the ball game now for Chaminade.
Coach Jones, looking at Daniel Jones rather. He wanted a breather, and he looked at him like, "Are you serious?"
5-second call, and it'll go back to Chaminade.
You know, the Crusaders exhibiting a lot of patience, and that's one of the reasons why they're in this game.
10-6, a minute 45 to go here in the first. Inside, ooh, easy bucket there by Reed.
Terrence Reed can change a game in an instant.
Here's Jones trying to get away from Jackson. Jones looking, you see what's long. And here's the Cretter. Over to Long. Trying to get it inside. And he'll remain with the Crusaders. Into the ball game for the Crusaders is Will Lazewski.
Ball movement is extremely vital when you're playing against a bigger team like that. The more they swing it, because Chaminade is not playing man-to-man, the more they swing it, the better opportunities they'll get at this end of the court.
Brian O'Laughlin into the game now for the Crusaders as Jones. Trying to keep the dribble. He loses it. Jackson gets it. And Strader doesn't get the handle.
I'm sure Coach Bennett with Chaminade isn't pleased with these last couple of possessions they've had on offense.
There's Jones. Under a minute to go. Gets the pick from Lee. Keeping the dribble, and he throws it away. Strader, the alley-oop play, no. Reed coming in with the follow. So Terrence Reed doing a great job here in this first quarter.
Yeah, he's the biggest guy out there on the court. Another timeout called by Lutheran North. I'm telling you something, he's only a junior. And if I don't know who's currently recruiting him or salivating for his services, but I know the list is growing by the day.
We're going to have Coach Bennett, he talked it over with Palmer Alexander.
All right, Coach Bennett, big game on the road for you guys. You guys have been undefeated this month. How have you guys been able to do it?
Well, I'll tell you what, we got to continue to improve, but it's focusing on the little things, playing hard on both ends, playing together on both ends. That's ultimately what it boils down to. And when we do that, we can be pretty good, but we have some work to do.
Your last loss was against Vashon. What have you guys learned from that loss?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be at your best to beat the best. Vashon's a very good team, well coached, and they've got, I think, 4 seniors in the starting rotation. You got to be very good to beat very good seniors, and so that's the takeaway. We've got to adjust and we've got to improve to where if we see that situation again, we can be successful.
On paper.
As we bring it back to action here, got a chance to have Palmer speaking with Chaminade coach Frank Bennett. Here's Jones, getting inside, rejected again by Reed. That'll remain with the Crusaders.
Where he blocked that shot is where most doctors check your pulse.
Indeed. Here's Jones. Being guarded by Jackson. There's the pick from Lazewski. Not a big pick. Here's Long. Trying to get around. He does. Gets with the floater. Can't get it. Reed gets the rebound. Here comes Mayo with the pass to Strader. Good. Walter Strader with the basket. And that should end the quarter right here. So after 1, Chaminade 16 and Lutheran North 6. Hey, folks, make sure that you go and check out the In the Zone Network today. Facebook.com/In the Zone Network. NTHEZONE Network. Make sure that you go and check out our wonderful content in store. The Price Check podcast with Josh Price. You can check out In the Zone with Palmer Alexander. You can also check out the A-Train show with Arlington Lane, the XFL STL talk show. You can also check out NTZ Pro Wrestling every Thursday night. Great content for you. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well. As always, we are powered by ZouLou Sports and the In the Zone Network. So far, believe it or not, as crazy as it is, Lutheran North is hanging in with Chaminade so far.
Yeah, and if you take maybe 2 or 3 free throws made and maybe a shot there, we're not even talking a 10-point lead. It may be less than that.
Exactly. But right now it's a 10-point advantage for Chaminade. We're just a quarter in. And Chaminade will start it off with Sinabad, Reed, Ward, Daniels, and Nate Strader. Crusaders will counter with Creder, Calhoun, Devin Jones, Jamez Lee, and Will Lazewski. Here's Calhoun. Over to Jones. And Calhoun takes it. Comes the pick. Calhoun. Here's Jones inside with the left hand. No. Sinabad gets the rebound. Here's Sinabad taking it coast to coast and gets the foul.
Philip Sinabad was another player that, I was told to keep my eye on by the staff over at Chaminade, and you see why. He has the ability to put the ball on the floor and go coast to coast. And he's only a junior.
Sinabad misses the first. And get a second one here. See Coach Jones giving instruction to his players right at the moment.
He's teaching.
He's teaching. Sinabad misses and gets his own rebound. And the shot there from Strader, no. Sinabad is on rebound, no. Reed gets the offensive rebound, puts it up strong, and gets the foul.
He's just too big. He's just too strong. And once he get it, he doesn't even have to jump. He just raises his arms up and throws it off the backboard. I do it too.
At 6'10", doesn't seem like he have much to jump for. But he gets the free throw here, 19-6 Chaminade. And now some full court pressure coming on from Chaminade. Here's Calhoun. Over to Crusader. Crusader trying to get away from Ward. Slips down on the floor. And it'll go to Chaminade.
Now, it is if Chaminade allowed Lutheran North in the first quarter to, okay, we're going to take our time. We're going to run 24, 30, sometimes 40 seconds off the clock before we take a shot. Now they're stepping out, they're trapping, they're getting more aggressive, and they're forcing their hand.
Straughter off the back iron. Sinabad is fighting, and Calhoun gets it for the Crusaders. Here's Crusader. Hits it over Lazewski. He wasn't ready. Reed couldn't make the save. Mayo coming into the game now for Chaminade. Nate Straughter will take a seat. Demez Jones and coming in for Lazewski and Brian O'Laughlin returns for the Crusaders.
The last time I saw Chaminade play in person, they had this young fella named Jason Tatum playing.
I think I've seen that young man as well.
And he played against Torrance Watson at Whitfield.
And the pass is going to remain with the Crusaders. Yeah, I got a chance to see Jason Tatum in action too. It was against Cardinal Ritter, and he had a great game that night. Here is Daniels on 3 defenders, and he gets the foul. So Nilavon Daniels will head to the line to shoot 2.
And, haven't called his name much, but if you talk about the way he slides his feet, playing defense, dedicated, and it's almost like an obsession, the way he plays defense. And, when you are a player, too, and you trying to make the team or already on the team, you're always coached up to play great man-to-man defense, sliding your feet across the floor, deflecting passes, diving on balls from loose floors, because you watch the way he finished, you can tell, he may not get that many opportunities to do that, but what a wonderful on-ball defender he is.
Here's Long with the reverse. It's going to be on the floor. Daniels did make both free throws. And that is on Sinabad. That is his 3rd foul. Here's Long. Take the shot. It looked like it had been taken by Reed. Here's Mayo. Tried to get it with the left hand. Couldn't get it to go down. Here's Moore. Long. Inside to Jones. Gets the basket. Demez Jones gets the Crusaders on the board in the quarter.
Yeah, they need that shot to stop the bleeding, but.
And there's Brian Ward again with the basket.
Coach Jones looks like he wants to call a timeout, but he chooses not to.
Here's Moore. Try to get it in. Bit of redirection. Here's Ward. Inside the Sinabad. Gets the lay in. 25-8, Chaminade. 5.5 to go here in the first half. Here's Crusader. He's fouled.
Chaminade gradually turning up the defensive pressure, trapping, starting to speed the Crusaders up. They're looking to get out of fast break and leap and put this game away early.
Nate Straughter into the game for Chaminade. Calhoun and Devin Jones return for the Crusaders. Long looking, here's Jones. Long. The right side gets it blocked again. That was Damian Mayo. Here's Calhoun for 3. Reed gets the rebound. Here's Ward. He'll take it from the free throw line. Good. Brian Ward, 27-8 Chaminade.
Well, what a beautiful looking pull-up jumper. Love seeing those jump shots made in transition.
Amazing thing about this Chaminade squad, no seniors. So all of them will be back next season. Here's Calhoun, short. Mayo gets it. Ward's running. Strader. He traveled.
I'm looking at Chaminade now. These guys are starting to leak out, and they're looking for layups and dunks. If they don't have to get into their half-court set, they're not going to even bother.
That's what we're seeing right here. Moore is it back into the ball game now for the Crusaders. Jones. And guarded by Ward. Trying to keep the dribble. 5 seconds again.
Yeah. That's the second time that's happened in this first half. Great defense by Chaminade. That's all you can say. Great defense.
And one starter coming in for another. It's Walter coming in for his brother Nate. Here's Ward. Over to Daniels inside the read. Jam time. And so a turnover now by the Crusaders, and the Chaminade to get it back.
See, this can turn a coach's hair gray or make it fall out.
Chaminade to get it here. Here's Strader. Over to Reed again. Ward, he'll take the three. That's good. Ryan Ward with the three. Looking, he's trying to make the pass, and he can't.
Another unforced turnover, and now we're starting to see some of those things that Coach Jones was upset about, and that he's been harping on his team, about basketball IQ and making high IQ basketball plays. They're not making them so far in the second quarter, and it's costing them on the scoreboard.
Darian Gooden getting his first action here. Here's Reed. And now steal, but Gooden steps out of bounds.
Yeah, it's like the Crusaders. Right now they can't catch a break.
Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. 32-8 here. And now a turnover. Moore gets it. He goes to the cup. And he's rejected by Mayo again. And now Moore with the steal. Try to get it. Loses it. Keeping the dribble. Calhoun. He hits the deck. And Mayo gets the steal. And Gooden gets his hands on it. And the Crusaders get it back. Calhoun with the lay-in. Goods it. So great job by Calhoun. 32-10. And now the foul here on David Moore.
You can admire the toughness, the grit of the Lutheran North Crusaders. But sometimes, coach always talk about basketball IQ. If you got guys 6'10", 6'8", 6'9", they already reside in the post like an oak tree. It's probably not a good idea to run into them.
32-10 the count. And, folks, make sure that you go and check out our wonderful partners for the In the Zone Network with Gateway City Sports. They do an awesome job. They got a great podcast, Team of Rivals podcast with Ryan Nuttall, Derek King with the Derek King Sports Show. You can check out every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Make sure you check it out at facebook.com/Gateway City Sports, or check it out at facebook.com/The In the Zone Network. And here is that last play by Calhoun.
I mean, the replay speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. Hey, not every high school broadcast has replay like we do.
All right. As we bring it back into action, the A-Train, Arlington Lane, Palmer Alexander bring you the game from Lutheran North High School here in St. Louis, Missouri. As Ward heads to the line or a couple. Excuse me, that was a 1-and-1.
I got a feeling that Damian Mayo is going to throw down a dunk before tonight is over with.
Yeah,
I think he wants to atone for that left-handed jam he went up for earlier.
Exactly. Ward makes both free throws. 24-point advantage now. Here's Calhoun being guarded by Daniels. Calhoun trying to get the play together. Jones over to Calhoun. Back up top to Jones. 3:05 to go here in the second quarter. Here's Gooden. He'll take the jumper. Way off. Daniels gets the rebound. Here's Ward with the beautiful floater. He gets the bounces to go with it. 36-10.
Ward soared through the air like the Jumpman logo.
And Reed gets the block on the Calhoun shot.
Now that block was pretty impressive. Did you see how high he got?
Here's the, and that's waved off. And that foul's on Jamez Lee, and that's his fourth. Already 4 fouls in the first half. Got a hard time when you get against Reed.
Well, he gives anybody a tough time, and he's been I wouldn't say quiet, but my goodness, when he makes a noise, he does make some, doesn't he?
Exactly. He gets the first free throw here.
And you know what I also like about him? He shoots the free throws well, nice touch, patient too.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a hurry. To fill the stat sheet, stays within the flow of the basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
A very fun player to watch. Well-coached guy, too.
I would love to see what he could do from the outside. But when you have that kind of information, you get inside buckets all the time.
And you know what? I'll tell you something else. He's like that traditional old-school big man, that play with it back to the basket and has a nice face-up jumper.
Here's Long and inside. Gets it. Over a couple of defenders.
Well, you better believe they work for that because they haven't got any points in transition.
Here's Mayo inside to Reed. The double comes over Mayo. He loses it a bit, hits the deck. There's Ward, Jackson. And he steps on the line. The ball will go over to the Crusaders.
And look at Chaminade showing a little token pressure in the backcourt.
There's Gooden over to Calhoun. Gets it across. Now the double in the corner. Jones, he gets to find himself double. Cross-court pass over to Gooden. And Calhoun gets it. He'll take it from the left. Back iron. Gooden gets the offensive rebound. And the Crusaders will retain. You see Coach Jones.
What coach box, right?
Yes.
He doesn't believe in the coach's box.
Long gets it.
Ooh.
Almost. Jones. And he steps out of bounds.
IQ, basketball IQ plays, high IQ plays. So that means you got to know where you're at on the court too. You got to know where you're at. But Chaminade is so big, right, that sometimes you're trying to get every little inch of the court that you can to get around them because they have so much height and length, and they cover so much ground.
And Jimmy Lansing for Chaminade enters in for the first time. Long gets the rebound for the Crusaders, trying to keep the dribble. 70 ticks to go here in the first half. Jones. Over to Gooden. Smallest man on the floor. Over to Jones. Getting the pick. As Long. They said he traveled. Here comes Ward. Ward, he gives a little push. He'll take a floating shot. Good. Brian Ward pushing the lead to 27.
I tell you what, Brian Ward is a phenomenal ball handler and another pleasure to watch on the Chaminade team.
Wow, shot by Calhoun, and he gets the basket. What a shot by Calhoun.
Look at the replay right there.
Amazing touch. Calhoun going with the three-point play.
He needed that. They needed that.
What a fake out by Calhoun at the free throw line, but he's short on the free throw. They'll redo it again. Second chance here for Calhoun. And he gets the free throw this time. 39-15 Chaminade, under 30 to go here in the first half. Inside to Fleming. Back cut by Ward, and he gets an easy 2 points.
What a textbook backdoor cut that was.
Down to 11 seconds to go. Jones, 8 seconds. Jones keeping the dribble down to 5 seconds. 4. Calhoun 2, 1. And he waited too late. That'll end the half. Chaminade 41. Lutheran North 15. We'll step aside for just a moment. We'll come back, give you a few stats. High school hoops on a Friday night here at Lutheran North High School is powered by ZouLou Sports and the In the Zone Network. Come back in like 5 minutes. I didn't start to talk about. She's right. We're going to take a stretch real quick. Back with this edition of High School Hoops. Friday night here at Lutheran North High School, the A-Train Arlington Lane. Palmer Alexander joining me. Chaminade 41, Lutheran North 15. So far, Mr. Reed 16, Lutheran North 15.
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't want to say it was a quiet 16 because he did it so efficiently. It didn't even seem like he broke a sweat scoring the 16 points that he did in the first half of the game.
What we have been seeing so far is a lot of transition defense from Chaminade. I know Lutheran North, this is a tough matchup for them. You know, they're smaller, but they're trying to get as much as they can in this game, and hopefully they can have something positive going into the second half.
Well, what I would say is, one, you got to give Chaminade, not Chaminade, but Lutheran North a lot of credit. They just keep attacking the bigs, even though that, you know, they've been getting a shot blocked or redirected. On the other end, Chaminade, some of the best transition defense I've seen up close, up in person, 0 points in transition.
You're the coach of Lutheran North right now. What are you telling them at this point in the locker room?
Hey, you know what I'm telling them, guys? Let's just focus on winning the quarter. Let's make better basketball plays. You saw on full display some of the things that was frustrating Coach Jones, and you can see why, you know, they on a current 3-game losing streak. They just got to play smarter, court awareness, knowing where the other guy is at on the floor. You know, you can't make those mistakes. Knock it down free throws. They're bigs. So little things like that. Stop beating yourself. That's what Coach wants you to do.
We're about to get started here with the second half. Here from Lutheran North. Starters remaining for Chaminade. We're going to get it back into action in just a moment. Grateful to see here as they get some fans into the gymnasium so they can catch the game. Make sure you can check out the game on ZouLou Sports. You can also check it out on In the Zone Network on Facebook and on YouTube.
So, I mean, what's this like, man? You're back in your home gym?
You know, it has been a while since I have seen a game. I know almost 20 years, you know, I've seen some great action here. I got a chance to see the 2002 2A State Boys Basketball Championship. I remember being there in Columbia at Hearn Center, the old Mizzou Arena. And it's great to be back. I'm honored actually to be here tonight. Here's O'Laughlin with the pump fake. He'll take the shot here. It may have been rejected a bit by Ward. And O'Laughlin retrieves. Jones over to Moore for three. He'll take it, and he'll knock it in. So David Moore with the three-point basket here.
Good sign for the Crusaders with him making shots. Again, like I said, the last game we did with him.
As you can see again from Reed with the dunk.
You know, that was extremely rude. I was talking about Moore making a three-point shot, but another dunk by Reed, his 20th point of the game.
And ahead to Mayo. He'll take the lay-in this time.
Mayo's going to get his dunk before it's over.
Minute gone by here. Moore, he'll take another three. Back iron, Jones trying to get the rebound. And Daniels gets it. Here's Reed. Tried to get it to center back, but he traveled. Calhoun into the ball game now. Evan Jones will take a seat. And Will Lazewski now into the game. Back into action as Calhoun gets it. And taking a dribble drive over to Moore. Moore trying to keep the dribble. Daniel staying there with him a bit. Still staying with him more. He gets to the basket with the right hand, and he puts it in. David Moore now with a couple of buckets here in the second half.
Yeah, that was some great ball movement by Moore, taking the team on and making a shot.
Mayo going inside, and he'll get a couple of free throws.
And Lutheran North, they can't trade baskets. They can't. So they're going to have to, to have a few runs, between now and the end of the game, an 8-0 or 10-0 run, something like that. Something to make Coach Bennett to use a timeout. He hasn't used one all game.
Got to make some smart basketball plays in this second half. Mayo missed the first. And he misses the second. Luzewski gets the rebound for the Crusaders. 45-20 here. Chaminade. Jones. O'Laughlin thought about it. He'll take it now, and he'll hit it.
Hey, I say why not? The shots are there. They just got to start knocking a few of them down.
And inside to Reed. Jam again. So Reed with another dunk, 47-23.
When he gets the ball that deep in the post, there is nothing you can do.
And Reed with the swat. He was waiting on that one. Ward over to Mayo. Mayo with the left hand, and he's fouled. Boy, Mayo looked like he was ready to rise and jam over Luzewski.
I'm going to save all the deli sandwich references or anything related to Mayo. But I'm telling you, he's going to put one down.
Mayo hits the free throw. That is some vertical by Damian Mayo. And I thought it was a sub. There's no sub there. Get a second free throw coming up for Mayo. And he'll get both. 49-23. Moore gets it. There's Jones being guarded by Ward. Jones keeping the dribble up. Sees a lane. They'll take it to Moore. He'll put it up for three. Short. Centerback gets the rebound. He's taking off. Here's Mayo. Left hand, no. Seems like every chance he's ready to go for the dunk. One of the Crusader players makes him switch it up.
Hey, well, as a player, too, on the floor, you can sense when that other team is trying to make something happen. And Chaminade has been getting out and getting in transition, especially on offense. And they look at a fast break, layups, and dunks because they got the size. You see what happens with Reed when he gets the ball deep in the post. You can't do anything with him because he's so tall. He doesn't even have to jump sometimes, to elevate and get above the rim.
Mayo makes both free throws. So, Palmer, you have played high school hoops in your day. When you saw someone that was about to go for a dunk in that situation, were you trying to stop it or were you trying to just let the highlight happen?
There was always a no-dunk rule. And there was one time, I went up and I blocked, I went up to block a guy dunk so they wouldn't bust the clock. Yeah, they bust the clock, but I didn't let the dunk happen.
And Centerback looks like he came up limping. He's heading off the floor now for Chaminade. Here's Moore. He'll take the three. He'll get it. So David Moore with another bucket here in the second half. Here's Ward with the floater. Gets it.
And if that shot came off the rim, there was somebody ready to clean it up.
It's Calhoun, and it's over and back. Turnover here.
Daniels with the pesky defense again, causing another turnover.
Here's Reed again. He'll jam it in for two.
too easy. It's way too easy. He catches the ball, he turns, jumps, and dunks.
Calhoun with the right hand puts it in over Reed. So great lay-in by Reed. Here's Strotter, and he gets the basket on the other end. Here comes Calhoun. 57-28, 3:45 to go here in the third. And an offensive foul by Will Azuski.
Yeah, you can't use your elbows when you set in the screen. You got to be set. You're moving, it's a moving screen.
And here's Ward. Over to Strotter, inside to Mayo. Mayo thought about it. Strotter, he'll take a three. No. Ward with the rebound gets it stolen. Daniels, he'll take it. He gets fouled. So Daniels heading to the line for two.
And in that last possession, Terrace Reed got in the post and called for the ball. Got on the block and called for the ball because he had Lizinski on him in the post. Lizwinski, rather. Had him in the post, and he knew that he had an advantage if he got the ball down there. Don't be surprised if he called for it again, just to dish out more punishment.
Daniels makes both free throws. Now 31-point advantage for Chaminade. Here's Moore. Being guarded by Mayo. Here's Moore again. Trying to keep the dribble. Being guarded by Mark Jackson Jr. And here's Jones. The pick from Lizinski. Jones looking. Over to Moore. He'll take it in. Give it to Lizinski. Puts it up. Off the back iron. Gets his own offensive rebound. Blocked by Reed. Reed again with another block. Here's stepping out from the outside is Reed. Back iron off. Jones ahead to Long. Takes it. Blocked to the. It looks like that's a goaltend by Reed.
Yeah, Reed was timing it the entire way. It just a matter of, when he finally caught the ball. Reed is doing it all tonight.
Indeed. Here's Strotter. Over to Daniels. Reed. Strotter taking it over the dribble. Daniels. Over to Jackson. Strotter stops the dribble. Daniels at the top of the key. Daniels will take a three. They'll put it in. So a basket here by Daniels.
Chaminade getting a chance to work their offense in a half-court set.
We got a foul here on the floor.
And sometimes in games, even blowouts, what have you, you get opportunities to run your offense in a game setting. Or, test the play out in a game setting.
Zone. Long. Moore. Rejected by Reed. The save. Long. Takes it hard to the cup and he gets the call.
You can't fault them for continuing to keep attacking the rim. You just got to be smart about it. But when you got a guy that's been blocking shots with his wrist for most of the evening, then that means that you're going to be a jump shooting team.
Exactly.
So if you're going to be a jump shooting team, you're hoping to hit, 45, 47% of your jumpers, get the other team in foul trouble, hopefully. But that's where your bigs come into play. And you're getting the ball in the post and you're drawing guys out. But, sometimes it don't work out that way, though, either. You can draw out the best plan and just get all shot as Terrence Reed
takes a seat. Jimmy Fleming into the game now for Chaminade. Here's Jackson. Over to Fleming. Sees Strotter. Can't get the teardrop. Lazuski fighting. Starter said, I want none of that. And it'll go to Chaminade on the jump ball. So Will Lazuski trying to get the rebound here for the, I'm sorry, that goes to the Crusaders. Here's Jones. Runs past to Moore, one-handed pass, and it is now in Jackson's hands. Jackson to the cup. Lay in, no, but he'll get a couple of free throws. Foul on Long here, his first 16 foul.
Guy like that by the Crusaders, despite the fact that they are down by 30, they're not giving nobody no easy layups.
And Jackson misses the first. As we're getting it together. 1:16 to go here in the third. And Jackson gets the second. 31-point advantage now. And now a steal by Jackson. And a foul here. So a turnover by the Crusaders. And it puts Mark Jackson back on the line for a 1-and-1. It's now the fourth foul on David Moore.
Chaminade turning up the pressure a little bit more on the Crusaders and just trying to put them away.
Jackson gets the first. Looks like Lee coming into the ball game as Mark Jackson gets the second. Lazuski will take a seat. Here's Jones, being guarded by Jackson. So Jones, Moore, O'Loughlin, Lee, and Long for the Crusaders. And the Lee, the left hand, wild shot, can't get it. Fleming. It'll remain with Chaminade. So here comes Jackson. Over to Strader. Over to Lance. Over to Jackson. Out to Daniels for three. And he is fouled by O'Loughlin. He's going to get 3 free throws.
Look at Coach Jones. He got his hands in his pocket. And it's almost like you could tell he's a little frustrated right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniels, not known for being a prolific three-point shooter. Why would you foul him?
And he misses the first. So the starters, Daniels, Lansing, and Jackson are now in for Chaminade. As Daniels makes the second free throw.
And listen, Daniels is a sophomore. So he's another player that is only going to get better, while he's in this program.
That was the thing about this team. There are no seniors on this squad. So that means you're going to see them again in another year or two. Jones trapped. Looking, sees O'Loughlin. He'll take a three from the top of the key and banks it in.
Whatever it takes to make it count, his second three in the quarter.
Here's Lansing. Strader. Hard foul by Lee, and that's going to do it. As we check that last play out by O'Loughlin, as he banks it home.
And I don't have the stat sheets in front of me, but I don't think Chaminade has made a three-point shot all game long, and they're up by, 28 points? Sorry, 22 points. Sorry, 32 points.
What was your favorite subject in high school?
Jim.
I figured that was the case. I guess I was the math geek. I'll take that. I don't care. Strata misses the first. Jones into the game now for
you got to think about it. You know, an A, right, that's an easy A.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know I'm going to get an F somewhere down the line, I need that A to balance it out.
And the steal by Daniels here, down to 10 seconds to go. Daniels with the right hand puts it in. 70-35 the advantage and the steal. Daniels will take the three from the top. Short. So after 3 quarters, Chaminade 70, Lutheran North 35. Wow. Come back with more for the final quarter right after this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Back with action here. The A-Train Arlington Lane, alongside with Palmer Alexander. We're looking over at the bench right now for Lutheran North, and you're seeing signs of defeat. What would you say to this group with the score being what it is right now?
Well, let's be realistic. The odds of them being able to chop this 35-point lead down to 35 is probably improbable. But again, what you can do is continue to play hard. You may stumble onto something that you could be able to use in the next game. You know, again, these are still teachable moments.
Exactly.
I was on the receiving end of a lot of drubbings. So I know what it's like to be Lutheran North and be in one of those situations, but you're looking to learn to get something out of this. Another basket by Reed.
So Gooden, Creditor, Calhoun, Long, and Jones for the Crusaders, and Calhoun gets the lay-in. Tough shot.
And they've been taking it to them all night long. Maybe sometimes ill-advised, but they just kept taking it to them.
And there's the last play by Calhoun.
One of few shots to fall down for Lutheran North. But you know what? They had, in my opinion, great intentions when they started off this basketball game. They playing with pace. They was taking their time. They was running plenty of clock every possession. And then once the score got to 16-6, it just seemed like it was just no turning back.
Reed hits his free throw. Lansing going into the game. And that'll end, more than likely end Reed's night.
It should. He doesn't have to do anything else. I mean, what a phenomenal game that he had tonight on both ends of the floor.
So O'Laughlin, Moore, he was trapped. He gets around it, and the foul called. Mark Jackson with the foul here. We got the running clock going here in the ball game. That's Jackson's second foul. And Moore gets it. And we're seeing the first action from Byron Jackson into the game for Chaminade. There's Jones. Over to Moore. He'll take the three. Short. Here's Byron Jackson. And stopped by O'Laughlin. Long gets the steal. And coming down the floor with the right hand. And he takes a hard foul. Yep. And he pops back up.
Yeah, Long was a little bit out of control going coast to coast. But again, Lutheran North has been attacking the basket all night long. May not show it on the scoreboard, but that's what they've been doing.
You can definitely catch this replay after the game on YouTube. You can also catch it on Facebook as well. As Long gets the first. Hey, folks, make sure you go and check out facebook.com/InTheZoneNetwork. You can check out all of our great content, great podcasts. You can check them out, our live shows on Wednesday and Thursday nights. It's all at facebook.com/InTheZoneNetwork. City to city, state to state, worldwide. You're listening to In the Zone, and this is the network. Schroeder with the reverse, no. Long gets the rebound. Inside to Jones. Puts it up and puts it in. So Demez Jones with the basket here. Here's Schroeder with the jam. So Walter Schroeder putting in 2 points.
He got up high and he got up in a hurry and put it down. They've been looking for one to get one in. Reed has had plenty tonight. And Mayo has had a few attempts at it.
And that'll be on the floor.
Walter Schroeder and Nate Schroeder.
As you saw, Walter Schroeder with the jam.
So he got one in before his brother. So you know his brother's going to want to throw one down.
I don't think that may get to happen because the brother's taking a seat. Into the ball game now is Jacob Stirk and Sam Piatek for Chaminade. 3:20 to go. Jones, he'll take a three here. And a good shot by Jones. Give him some confidence there. Here's Jackson. Over to Lansing. Schroeder. Piatek, he'll take a three. No, Schroeder with the tip, no. Jones gets the rebound. Here comes Devin Jones. Jones, the dribble. He stops the dribble. Looking over and he gets Corey Long. And the foul call here. So Piatek with the foul here. It's first. And we got free throws coming up for Long. And in and out for Long. Over to Lansing. Schroeder, he'll take a three. No. Jackson gets the offensive rebound. Here comes Long. And he puts it in.
Long has been able to get him a little bit of offense this quarter.
Here's Jackson. Stirk hits it from the free throw line. A great shot by Jacob Stirk. Here's Jones. Tried to make the pass, and it was stolen by Jackson. Foul by Jones here is second. And he's going to put Byron Jackson on the line. So Chaminade will get the win here tonight and keep the winning streak alive to end the month of January.
Yeah, going 7-0.
And the Crusaders got another tough test come tomorrow.
Yeah, so they don't really get a chance to lick their wounds. They just got to get ready and lace them up tomorrow.
Strada gets the basket here, 80-45. Long. He'll take the jumper. No. Lansing with the rebound. Long trying to get the steal, and he couldn't. And now the steal by Calhoun, but it will remain with Chaminade. And this should end the game here. And it does. So the final score is Chaminade 80, Lutheran North 45. And we're going to take it over to Palmer Alexander with head coach Frank Bennett.
Coach Bennett, great win tonight. What are some of the big takeaways from tonight's win?
We got to play consistently all 32. You know, we got to make sure we're playing as long as the ball's live. We did a decent job of that today, but we could do better.
In the beginning of the game, Lutheran North was extremely patient with the ball. They wasn't trying to run up and down the court. And then you guys start to gradually turn the pressure up on them. Was that by design?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to get up and pressure the ball and make them hurry up a little bit, you know. And I think that played to our advantage.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Enjoy this win.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Palmer. Well, the final score here, 80-45. Big game by Terrace Reed tonight, 25 points and a plethora of blocks and dunks and highlights that he provided for this evening. And Palmer Alexander joining me back at the announcers table. What were the good things that you saw from Chaminade this evening?
Well, you know, just the fact that, you know, as Coach Bennett just alluded to, they want to play a full 32 minutes of basketball, and that's the thing that he was just constantly harping on them, you know, and they found some things that they need to work on. Remember, there's always something to work on, especially when you're coaching and then during times like COVID.
Exactly. For Lutheran North, you get the loss here at home, but again, like we stated early on, you got another test tomorrow, and it's just getting harder for you. So what are you telling Lutheran North at this point in the season? They just dropped to 6-9.
Hey, you know what? You got to forget this game. You do, because you got a game tomorrow. But the number one thing to take away from tonight is playing with high basketball IQ. You're not going to win every game, but you want to make sure that you're making a high basketball IQ play. And if you're doing that, you stand a chance to win games even when the size differential was the way it was tonight.
Final score again, 80-45, 20.
A resistance in the interior defense of the Lutheran North Crusaders, so he was able to do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted.
And also a great play from Damian Mayo tonight as well. I saw it on both ends of the floor, both ends of the court, offensively and defensively. And it seems like Chaminade is just going to get stronger, not just for this season, but also in the next season as well.
And then they had top flight play from the point guard, Brian Ward, and then you got the Strada brothers on there. You got Daniels, who's only a sophomore. So this is a team that you expect to see in the hunt for a few state titles in the next 3 to 4 years.
Well, that'll wrap things up here. Final score again, 80-45. We'll have more hoops action coming to you next week. A lot of great hoops action for you. So make sure that you stay tuned to ZouLou Sports in the In the Zone Network. So for Palmer Alexander III, this is the A-Train Arlington Lane. We'll catch you for more high school hoops action powered by ZouLou Sports and the In the Zone Network.